to another edition of winemastery.co.uk. We're here to tell you all about wine. This is episode number 23, part 1, and we're talking about Bordeaux. I'm Little John, and this is...
Big John.
Big John.
Yes, I'll get down from this box. You stand up. Yes, good evening. Yes, so we've moved to Bordeaux. We've left Burgundy for a short while, just to try something a wee bit different. Now, as you said, we are going to try 3 of the kind of more well-known regions within Bordeaux. Because again, as Burgundy has, you know, it's one area as such, with all these kind of sub-regions within there. Bordeaux is exactly the same. You know, it's probably a wine-growing area, the biggest wine-growing area. Apparently, yes, just apparently so. And so we're going to try and break that down a little bit, and you know, you'll be learning alongside us both, because it is such a complex area, is this. However, we're going to start off with the 3 kind of better known ones.
Okay, and Bordeaux, from memory, is like halfway down France and more towards the Atlantic, more towards the left-hand side.
That's correct, yes.
Okay, good, I'm glad we got that sorted.
Right, so in that case, our first wine of the evening. There we go, sir.
Oh, he's still trusting me with both glasses.
Yeah, well, you did a good job last week.
Yeah, I'm nervous, my hand's shaking.
A glass of wine always sorts it out.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Now,
oh, the colour's different from last week.
Yeah, well, it's a kind of... Yeah, looking straight at that... Yeah, it's not quite as deep and red, that, and it's quite a light colour. That's more kind of a... I'd say that's on a purple colour, that.
Right, okay.
Would we be happy with that?
Yeah, I would be.
Especially lights towards the rim as well. I thought that'd be a little bit dark, but no. Now, we didn't even tell you what this is. This is the Graves.
Oh. Now,
this is probably a little bit on the southern side of the Bordeaux growing region. Now, the Graves is known as probably having the most kind of aromatic.
Graves?
Graves, yeah, the Graves. That's the reason the wine.
How do you spell that?
G-R-A-V-E-S.
Okay. It's so well known. I've never heard of it before.
Well, this is one of I think this is 15.
Is it?
Within, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So it's gonna be.
I'm sure you've heard of it before.
Of course.
It's just me and my.
Because I'm saying.
Of course.
Everybody else will know.
Everyone else will know.
But yes, this is what they all again vary in style, just the same as like in the Burgundies do. So I picked this one because this should be one of the kind of lighter styles of the Bordeaux, but it's supposed to be one of the most aromatic. So we're going to give that a go and see where we got from that.
I'm ahead of you.
I know it is. Now,
some wines when when you pour them, you can stand from here and smell the nose, but this one,
you know, you do need to get
right in there,
right close, yeah,
to do it his way.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Did I say there was anything wrong with that?
Not at all. A good way to do it is kind of get closer. Or often when I smell the wine, sometimes if you get your nose right in there, it can be a bit overpowered. So to get the more subtle kind of I was going to say flavours as well. Yeah, subtle aromatics in there, I would say. You need to pull it away, and it just kind of pulls a little bit more out of it.
So what, you put your nose in and then pull it away?
Yeah. Now what you... See, that wasn't as much as I thought I would get from there, but what I'm getting from there, and I know this is going to irk you because it is hints of leather. I'm getting leather in there, yeah. Now also, I'll tell you, generally as well, the grape in there tends to be either Cabernet Sauvignon or Cabernet Franc, and then a Merlot, usually.
Okay.
They can blend it with other bits and pieces as well, but that's generally the predominant grapes in there. So from other...
Okay.
You know, from other videos, what we've said is, and for me personally, you find that Cabernet Sauvignon does tend to be a kind of more fruit-driven grape. So that for me, there's not as much fruit as I was a bit expected. Not at all.
Talking of leather, would you say that's a similar colour to Rioja?
No, I find Rioja's a little bit darker and more browny, usually. Usually. Sorry, John. We're only got 20 odd episodes in.
Yeah. It's only 60 bottles.
Is that all? God, this is good. Right, I'm going to have a little taste.
I wish we didn't do it all on one night though.
But what now? And the first one again, clean the taste buds, I'll get them ready, warm them up.
That was interesting. It didn't taste like I expected from the nose.
Well, it's a lot lighter. a lot lighter than you'd expect from the nose end. But the fruit comes through a lot more on there. But it's not like, it's like cherryish, but not the darker cherry.
The aftertaste is more cherry, I find.
It comes through a lot more there.
Yeah.
But I tell you, what is standing out there for me though is the tannins. Again, that dry edge. There's quite a lot of tannins for quite a lightish wine. Which for me, I mean, again, a food with that would cancel that out. But for me, I wouldn't say it's one of my favourites.
Okay. What year is this? Is it around 2013 or something?
Pretty sure it's 2011.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 2011 on this. So it's had enough time in the bottle, really.
Yeah, it has, yeah. Well, not that I know.
Yeah. No, yeah, it has plenty of time in the bottle left for those times. But then again, this could be the style that it goes for.
You know the next question I asked?
Go for it.
How much?
I'm surprised you were 30 questions to get in there. $15.99.
Okay, so it's not a lightweight in terms of price.
Not really.
No.
But yeah, for me it is more that red fruit, more kind of red currant-y.
Yeah.
But again, the tannins I'm not a fan of. So for me that kind of spoiled. I won't say spoiled because it is a style and I'm not going to put it down in any way, shape or form. That just simply wouldn't suit me.
Your
For instance,
yeah.
You know, like as we did say about a Rioja. I mean, like in a Rioja, that kind of full, heavy, but nice and light on the finish, that wouldn't suit me as such. Not something I'd make an effort, not something I'd go for on the shelf if it was there.
Okay. Okay.
Well, what do you think personally?
Personally, it's light. I prefer the Beaujolais that we had 2 episodes ago.
Yeah.
I find, like you, the tannins a little bit. I would, if this was an everyday, you know, if we were talking £6 a bottle.
How much? Yorkshireman's walk, right?
then I would buy it. I'm not saying it's not good because I'm sure that, you know, I'm not experienced in tasting by any means. So someone will find that appreciates it will gladly pay that, I'm sure. I mean, and people do.
Well, of course, yeah. I mean, the flavour's just a bit too subtle for my liking. They're there, but I want it a little bit more.
Yeah, subtlety isn't my thing.
Really? But yeah, as we said, it is a style, whether you like it or not. I mean, what would you compare? I'm thinking now, if what would you like if you like that? Perhaps if you like some of the Pinot Noirs, if you like a Pinot Noir, perhaps that might be something for you to then move on to see if you like that.
Okay. Well, should we move on and see if the next, which is the next one that we're gonna?
It's a secret.
Oh, it's a secret.
No, it's not. We're moving on, I believe, to the Centimillion.
Now I've heard of that one.
Yeah. No.
I've even been there.
Oh well, you would have, wouldn't you?
Would have.
So you must have drunk the wine while you're there.
I was. I did.
Right. Let's get to number 2 then.
Let's get number 2 quick. See you in part 2.
Chin chin.
Cheers.